After all that, we're gonna go to the sign, which will make it official, end to end.
Okay, let's go. I'm running.
1220, so it's an old church.
And now it's basically a ruin.
We made it to the most northerly point in Britain. We used the compass app on our phones to double check, and indeed, that direction is north.
Hey there, travelers. I'm Eliz from Means to Travel. My husband Derek and I are college sweethearts and share a passion for exploring the globe.
After so much change for us in 2020, we decided to take a giant leap and rent out our home in Chicago for some extended travel. This series chronicles our 3-month stay in the United Kingdom.
Over the next several episodes in this series, we embarked on one of Britain's most epic road trips, the North Coast 500.
On our drive, we circle around the northern coast of mainland Scotland for over 2 weeks and 500 miles. Throughout the journey, we explored historic castles, coastal caves, windy cliffs, small port villages, and loads more.
So come along as we explore this breathtaking corner of Britain. In the last episode, we had a very muddy day exploring outdoor sites near Wick, Scotland. We saw some Neolithic-era standing stones, met some sheep friends while checking out the Grey Cairns, and ended our day at sunset at the cliffside Sinclair Castle ruin.
In this episode, we finally make our way to John O Groats, completing our goal of becoming end-to-enders, those special few who've driven from one end of Britain to the other. Afterwards, we brave tons of wind to scope out the views at Dunnet Head lighthouse, and end our day exploring the town of Thurso, including an old ruined church and Thurso's riverside.
What's up, travelers? It's Eliz.
And Derek.
From Means to Travel, and we're standing right outside of the town of Wick, Scotland, with our rental car. We just filled up the petrol tank, and we're about to make it to John O Groats to become end-to-ender.
End. So that means we will have gone from Land's End in Cornwall all the way up to John O Groats in the northeast of Scotland.
Today is also the 4th day of our NC500 road trip around the top of Scotland, and so we're going to be doing John O Groats plus several other things. So come along with us today as we do day 4. Let's go. Ice on the car.
It's getting cold.
Go up there. Maybe because we're crazy people who came in mid-November on the first snow day of the year. Okay, you guys, we made it to John O Groats. It's kind of drizzling, so we're going to go get some coffee at one of those cute little cafes over there in order to hopefully wait out the rain a little.
Parking is £2.
Yes.
Which we're gonna go pay. And then, after all that, we're gonna go to the sign, which will make it official, end to end.
Gonna get some lunch, and hopefully the wind will have died down by the time we're done, because it was literally shaking the car so much that we're like, we cannot film outside. So fingers crossed it'll be a little bit different once we're done. Okay, so I got a stack with goat cheese and pear that I'm super excited to try. And then I got coffee with a pump of caramel. Derek got a soup of the day, one of them, which is the tomato basil.
Yep, so I got tomato basil soup, and I got a macaroni and cheese flatbread with bacon.
Saved the best for last.
It's kind of like the ultimate grilled cheese tomato soup.
We just finished lunch at the Stacks Bistro, which was super yummy. And
Oh, decadent.
because when we got here, the weather was brutally windy and raining, we decided we would just get coffee and lunch first. And what a great decision, because now it's 1 o'clock and it's actually like kind of sunny, sort of.
A little bit less wind, still windy,
And
as
so
you can
sorry
tell by
if you
this
can
cycle.
hear, yeah, sorry if you can hear the wind or see the camera swaying. But let's pivot around so you can see. We're here. Okay, so we're gonna go to the official John O Groats sign so we can become like official end-to-enders. All right, let's go. This is crazy. Are you okay, babe? Yes, you're okay. Okay, let's go. I'm running. I'm running against the wind. We did it! That was okay, so my hair in a ponytail. Is it always this windy?
That's where we were. Hey, you got it. That dude's wearing shorts. So cold, so windy.
I can't keep it a little bit. I can't.
You good?
Get me out of
Hand me
here.
stuff. I can help.
You just turn it on while I'm combing my hair.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, so we are headed to Dunnet Head next, which is the true northernmost point in mainland Britain. So, where were we? We were just at John O Groats, which is not the northernmost, but is the most northeasterly point, and is the longest distance between 2 points if you go from Land's End up to John O Groats. So, we're going to go to Dunnet Head so we can say we've been to the top of Britain and go take in a few views.
We looked it up, and the wind gusts right now are like 25 to 30 miles per hour, which is why I was just brushing my hair. But we're expecting it to be just as blustery at the next place, so bear with us, because filming is a little bit challenging in that kind of weather, but I'm glad you guys are along for the ride. And I don't believe it's always like this. From what I'm seeing on YouTube on other people's videos, it looks like they get a lot less wind. So if you guys are planning a trip, you're likely not going to be getting this,
Quite as bad?
Yeah, this craziness.
Yeah, and you can definitely feel it in the car as you're driving
as
too.
Derek's driving. And I tried opening the window just now real quick to take a picture, and it was like screeching as it was opening. So yeah, we're hanging in there. Most northerly point of mainland Britain welcomes us. I'm trying to decide whether to go out of the car right now, because each giant gust of wind brings like also a ton of rain, and it shakes the car, and that doesn't sound like something I want to experience firsthand.
Whereas I, on the other hand, am going out there, guys, and I'm doing it all for you. Let's go!
Buena suerte.
Alright. So far, less like, the wind isn't as, like, constant here as it was over at John O Groats area. It's just like these, every once in a while, it's like a massive gust of wind. But yeah, it's so pretty out here. And this is the most north we can get. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, this view is incredible from the Dunnet Head lighthouse. Right, Derek? The waves are actually kind of crashing so slowly if you watch them. It's very majestic. So what were you just saying, Derek?
Oh, you can just see where it's like the mists are coming up from the ocean. The winds are so strong there.
Yeah.
Just like updraft.
We were thinking that might have been what was hitting our car every once in a while, just a little bit ago.
All right, guys, so we are at Dunnet Head now. This is the Dunnet Head Lighthouse. It's very pretty.
I'm so sorry
so windy.
about the camera being thrown about and my hair. But yeah, we made it. We made it to the most northerly point in Britain. We used the compass app on our phones to double check, and indeed, that direction is north. And so, what you see, the land masses you kind of see way back there are the Orkney Islands. So we did it. We got here. South to north, baby. And that completes, what is it, our end-to-end to end. Back to the car before we blow away.
Everybody, we've just left Dunnet Head Lighthouse, and we're doing a big centrifugal force turn right now down the hill on our way to Thurso, which Derek has a few different reasons why we're going to Thurso next.
Well, it's on the NC500, and we had to drive through it anyways. So that's one fun fact.
On our way to our hotel in Bettyhill.
Yeah,
that is accurate.
So we're staying tonight in Bettyhill, which is, I don't know, call it like a small town that's outside of Thurso.
Still
it's
in
considered
the
like
very,
part
very
of
far
Thurso.
north.
Yeah, it's on that far northern coast. I don't know name Bettyhill, but to me it sounds like a 1950s like actress. Like her and Betty White would know each other. But yeah, no. So we are heading on to Thurso, which is actually the largest town on like the north coast of Scotland, and is well known around the world for like big waves. So it's like a really big place for surfers here in Scotland. It's actually hosted a number of like surfing championships. So we're gonna go up there, check out the town a little bit, hang 10, I don't know, and then we're gonna head on to Bettyhill so we can check into our hotel.
Neither of us know how to surf, so we're gonna go see if we can befriend those who do.
We don't talk to people as much.
That's true.
We don't befriend people anymore.
That is true. But there was another fun fact that you wanted to share about the lighthouse we were just at.
Oh yeah, so the lighthouse. That lighthouse was built in like the 1830s by the grandfather of Robert Louis Stevenson, the guy who wrote like Treasure Island and Kidnapped. So
That's a fun fact.
very fun fact. And they think that, Robert Louis Stevenson would visit these like far off lighthouses with his father, to see the things that his grandfather had built and all that. And that might have been part of the reason that he like felt compelled to write these sea tales and these novels that he's so famous for. So
that's really, really cool. So here we go, continuing our journey on day 4.
then turn right onto Wilson Lane.
All right, guys, so we are in Thurso, which is the northernmost town in Scotland, and we tried to film this over by the water, but it was windy as all get out, so we're now here in the old St. Peter's Kirk.
Yes.
Right? 1220, so it's an old church, obviously no longer used for,
It stopped being a
services.
church in the 1800s, and now is basically a ruin.
But it's beautiful. It's awesome. Definitely check it out if you're here. So a couple little fun facts about Thurso. Thurso is a surfing town. Big swells, big waves because of the weather conditions here over in Thurso Bay, which is where we just were when we tried to film this before. And yeah, it's got a lot of industry. If you look down here, actually, you can see some of its old industry is flagstones, which I think makes that stuff. And yeah, Eliz can tell you a little bit about more of the modern stuff.
Yeah, kind of after that, with all of the sheep industry that came into play in the Highlands in the past couple hundred years, it became very big in the tanning industry and doing all the tanning process for the linens that were created here. And nowadays, it's definitely still a big industry with fishing, and because it's where the river Thurso meets the sea, there's just a lot of fishing opportunities in this area. So
Yeah, it's pretty. Actually, we'll show you some boats here in a second because there's some cute little boats down here.
yeah,
that we
yeah.
wanna go take you.
So we'll drive through Thurso and then on to Bettyhill. So let's go.
Did you find a pup in the window?
The little fluff ball in the window.
Bye, Fluff.
Hey guys, so it's the next morning and we got into Bettyhill just a little bit after sunset, so it was kind of hard to be able to record for you all, but we
like
wanted-
4 p.m.
Yeah. But we wanted to show you because we were able to catch a quick glimpse last night right as we were getting in of how awesome this view is from our hotel. So we are overlooking this bay right here and just it's amazing, incredible, peaceful ocean view. So we thought we'd sign off here.
Yeah, definitely at least make a stop along Bettyhill though if you're doing the NC500 because it's just pretty.
Yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed our day going from Wick to Bettyhill with John O Groats in there in between.
And enders!
So if you did, give this video a like and also press that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future travels to come, especially the rest of this NC500 trip. Cheers everybody, happy travels. Bye!
I can't even walk. It's blowing me around.
Alright, on to Bettyhead.
Bettyhill.
Bettyhill.
Bettyhead.
Bettyhill.
Bettyhead was a sorority sister of mine.
Oh, really?
Betsy Head was.
Hey travelers, don't forget to subscribe and let's hang out more. Here are some links to other helpful travel videos on my channel and press that notification bell so you don't miss any new and awesome travel videos to come.